So I'm a little bit late to the new Genesis game, but there has been a ton of information that has been posted on the PSO2 official website regarding new Genesis. And so in today's video, I'm going to be giving you the abridged version. If you want the full version, you can always check out the other content creators. I'm really just going to be covering the stuff that interests me. But first of all, if you're new to the channel, I upload PSO2 content daily. So if you do play this game, I'd really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So over here is the PSO2 official website. If you just want to read this for yourself, the link is in the description below. So over here it says New Genesis Additional Information Part 2. The reason it says Part 2 over here is because Part 1 came out quite a while ago actually. Came out in December of 2020. And so this is just more information regarding New Genesis. And you know me, I'm super duper hyped about any new information about New Genesis. So the first thing they want to address is the personal shop as well as trade items. So a couple things to take note of here. Number one, there is no ability to trade items in New Genesis. So currently in vanilla PSO2, if two people are premium members, they can trade between each other without having to pay any taxes and all that jazz. However, in New Genesis, you just can't trade, period. Another thing to keep note of is New Genesis items can only be sold on the New Genesis personal shop, and likewise with the vanilla PSO2. So we're not going to be able to get like a cross weapon on vanilla PSO2, bring it over to New Genesis and sell it on the market there. It won't work. And the reason they're doing this is because they want to keep N Meseta and our regular Meseta separate. So N Meseta over here is going to be our new currency in New Genesis. I'm assuming is just new Meseta. And then in vanilla PSO2, the one that we're playing right now, we just have regular Meseta. And so they just want to keep things separate so we don't screw up the market, even though I know we're going to find a way. We're going to find a way to screw up the market somehow, because that's pretty much what we do. Next up is defining the power of your weapons and units in PSO2 when transferring to New Genesis. So you're going to notice over here they've got this very beautiful chart basically saying that, hey, if you have a 15-star weapon, it's going to transfer over and become a 4-star weapon in New Genesis. And it also says right here, at service launch, the maximum rarity of items in New Genesis will be 4 stars. So basically 4 stars is going to be the highest rarity, the best tier of weapons and units that you can get. However, since we don't have 15-star units, I'm guessing like our units are only going to be 3 stars and the weapons we have are going to be 4 stars. But I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to get 4-star units as well, probably just by playing the game, leveling up and farming urgent quest or whatever we have to do in New Genesis. Something to take note of is over here, equipment requirements for classes will be changed according to New Genesis class specifications for each weapon category. So this is very important for those people who are playing Hero, who are playing Braver, who are playing Luster, so forth and so on. Some weapons might not be equipable on the release of New Genesis, but do keep in mind that a lot of classes won't be available immediately when New Genesis comes out. A good example would be the Braver. So even though I have like Katana and I transfer it into a 4-star Katana, maybe I won't be able to equip it because I want to play a Gunner, for example, or a Ranger. So I may have to wait until there is a class that comes out that is able to equip katanas. I do believe hunters should be able to equip katanas, so it's not totally gone to waste, but I'm not entirely sure if all weapons will be supported, like the Gunblade for example. Next point of interest is right here, that is the enhancement level of items. So the current max enhancement for our weapons is plus 35. However, this will be boosted to plus 40 in New Genesis, and our units will also go up to plus 40. So if you have a plus 10 unit right now and you bring it over to New Genesis, it will automatically convert into a plus 40 unit, which is very, very nice. And I'm assuming they're doing this because we can upgrade more often, and then it's going to be like smaller increments and it'll be like a smoother progression. I'm assuming that's pretty much why it's 40 different levels instead of just like, 10 or like 35. But it's nice that they're unifying things so that at least the weapon enhancement level and the unit enhancement levels are going to be the same. Next up is we will be losing our weapon elements. So right now we have weapons that are light element, that are dark element, so forth and so on, because there's different bosses as well as mobs which are weak to certain elements. This is all being negated and set to 0 in New Genesis. I'm going to assume that all weapons are just going to deal physical damage or just damage in general. And I'm going to assume that most monsters are just going to have regular defense stat instead of like elemental resistance, unless they're very specific bosses, which may be weak to certain elements. But overall, I think they're just simplifying things so that you could just pick up any weapon, go out and beat monsters to death. Another very important thing is all the gear you get in New Genesis will not transfer over to vanilla PSO2. So for all the gear that you get in New Genesis, let's say that you've got your super endgame units as well as weapons in New Genesis, when you go back to regular PSO2, those will not carry over. However, all of your super endgame PSO2 vanilla gear, such as your cross weapon, your cross units, they will transfer over to New Genesis as shown here, but the rarity as well as their stats will change as shown here. You know, your 15-star cross weapon will become a 4-star cross weapon, for example. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably asking me, what about my augments? I just spent 1 billion Meseta and I got Guardian Soul on all of my units and my weapons. Will they transfer over to New Genesis? While we don't have any exact numbers, it says right here, weapon and unit augments obtained in PSO2 will be changed to New Genesis augments that correlate to some extent with the original abilities or stats. These changes will only apply to the items during use in New Genesis and will be reverted during use in regular PSO2. And the last but most important one over here is the designation of S-grade augments will be negated. So that means that S-grade augments will not work in New Genesis, and these items will also have modified value that correlate with some extent to their original abilities or stats. So all the S abilities we have on our units, on our weapons, so forth and so on, they will be negated. So basically all of their original effects on PSO2, when it comes on to New Genesis, they won't do the same thing, but they will have modified stats to compensate for the loss of your S-grade augments. So the TLDR for all of this text over here is basically, let's say I have a cross weapon. My cross weapon's plus 35, it's got 8 slots, it's got S1 to S5 and Guardian Soul and 2 more really powerful augments, right? When I bring this weapon over to New Genesis, what's going to happen is my S1 to S5 abilities won't act like what they do right now in vanilla PSO2. Instead, they will become stats. So for example, let's say that I have S1 melee amp, which increased my damage by, 5%, 6% or whatever. Maybe it'll just be changed into a flat stat saying damage plus 6%. It's going to be something along those lines. So even though you technically lose the S-grade augment, it's not going to be that bad. The only augments I'd be a little bit worried about would be like the Petal Seas, as well as the Petal Gleams and all of those, the ones that work together where you need like S1, S2, S3, S4 to work together and in order to become powerful. Like maybe those will just be changed into flat stats and just be like, oh, plus 100 damage or something along those lines. But just keep note that your super duper powerful weapons in PSO2 vanilla, when they transfer over to New Genesis, they're not going to be exactly the same. All right. So we're going to skip this part over here because this doesn't interest me at all. And here, shared content between New Genesis and PSO2. So over here, we can see playtime will carry over. So yes, we can see how many hours we've all played, but we're all PSO2 addicts, so it's going to be a high number. Player Meseta will not carry over. As I said before, we have regular Meseta and then we have new Meseta. We will keep our symbol arts. Thank goodness. We can still continuously spam our love to VTubers and stuff like that. Registered chat shortcuts will not carry over. This used to say yes, but apparently it doesn't carry over now. So, okay, that's fine. Auto chats will carry over. Available partner cards will not carry over. This surprises me. This originally was a yes. However, it does not carry over now. That's a little bit of a shame because I really wanted to bring like Mitarashi as well as Zect, just the PSO2 Kami crew with me to the future. But apparently this is not going to be a thing. We're not going to be able to bring those partners over. So that kind of sucks. As for gender over here, it's just a triangle now because it doesn't apply since there is no more gender in New Genesis. But that also gives us a lot more freedom with our accessories. So let's say you have a male headpiece or a male layer wear that you want to use, but you're playing a female character. Now you're able to mix and match all of your different fashion pieces to make your most ideal look or monstrosity. Another thing that caused a lot of controversy is the fashion items over here. Fashion items that are usable on all characters. This used to be a no, and a lot of people got really upset on Twitter, especially the JP players, because let's say that you have 10 characters and you want to use the hairstyle on all 10 characters. In vanilla PSO2, you just need 2 copies of the same hairstyle and it will become account bound and you could use it on all your characters. This used to say no, which meant that you needed the same hairstyle 10 times if you had 10 characters, which is absurd. But luckily it was just a typo. So as you can see here, they have amended that. It's in red now. For ticket items that have been used twice, there was an error, blah, 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 blah. Basically, we can use our fashion items. As long as you've used it twice, it will be account bound. So all of your characters can use it, regardless if they were made in vanilla PSO2 or if you make a new character in New Genesis, all of your cosmetic items will carry over. Super duper nice. Obviously, quest unlock status, none of that will carry over. Gathering will not carry over. Crafting will not carry over. Personal quarters, personal shop will not carry over. Alliance will carry over, so thank goodness. I can still continue to run my dysfunctional alliance banana pancakes in New Genesis. So the thing is, we won't have an alliance quarters per se. However, we will have membership status, which means I get a little pretty tag saying that I am the leader of banana pancakes. As for all the other members, well, tough. I think you guys just get like little member tags. That's it, yeah. But I can assign people as sub-leaders, so there's that. All of my friends will carry over, communications will carry over, messages will carry over, ARC's IDs will not carry over. So that was very interesting, but yeah, that's something that won't carry over. Our regular storage will carry over. That includes default, extended, premium. I have no idea what OTP is, and pickup storage. However, our Alliance and Meseta storage will not carry over. Collection folder, nope, that's not a thing. Casino, nope, that's gone. Lookbook will carry over, which is nice. And over here, there's a bunch of player stuff, but honestly, I don't look at any of these things. So skip, 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 options, skip, 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 skip. And here is a bunch of little disclaimer stuff. So yeah. So what do I think about all this? I personally think that New Genesis is going to be amazing, alright? The game's going to come out, we're all going to go in, and for the first time ever, JP as well as global players are going to be on an equal playing field. We're all going to go in blind, we're not going to know what the most optimized thing is, and we're just going to have fun. We're literally just going to mess around and have fun, and it's going to be great. I'm going to enjoy myself, I'm going to play at my own pace, I'm not rushing to get the best gear or whatever. I'm literally just going to have fun. I'm just gonna go in and enjoy the game, sightsee, explore. Like, all this news is great and dandy, but you know, I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs, patiently waiting for New Genesis to come out because I am so ready for that. I am so ready for that graphics rehaul and the shine meter and the character creator. It's gonna be, oh, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. Yeah, in case you guys couldn't tell from the tone of my voice, I'm very excited for it. Anyway, that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.
What can I say except you're welcome for the heals, the boosts, the